Hello, in this video we will discuss about the Clostridium botulinum infection. So this is the botulism is the infection is due to the Clostridium botulinum, which that is the gram rod shaped gram positive rod shaped anaerobic spore forming motile bacterium and produces the neurotoxins. Neuro mean the nervous system, which that means the neurotoxin mean is the toxicity to the nervous system, and the botulinum is known as cause botulism. So the botulinum is the toxin which that cause the botulism, and the botulism is the severe flaccid heavy severe flaccid paralytic disease. Lethal dose may be 1.3 to 2.1 nanogram per kilogram of one in human. So in case of the microscopic study, it is show the rod shaped and the pathological type of botulism we can divide four. And in this way, the basically is the foodborne mean the 36-hour maximum double which require to infection the foodborne means the produced in the food due to the spoily food, and the double vision, nausea, vomiting, and slurred speech and trouble breathe, which that is the character of the foodborne botulism. While on the other hand, the wound botulism is due to the difficult swallow, the facial weakness, the blurred vision, dropping eyelid, and trouble breathe. And it is due to the injection, the drug injection, for example, cocaine injection, which that is the injection site will be important for the invagination of these bacteria through wound type. It is known as a wound botulism. While the infant botulism is constipation, weak cry, and irritability, drooling, and drooping eyelid, drooping also, and the redness and the paralysis can be. And the adult intestinal toxemia is due to the abdominal pain, blurred vision, and diarrhea, and it is due to the spoiled food. And this dysarthria and imbalance, weakness in arm. So that is why the infant botulism is due to the infection through umbilical cord, and that is why. And on the other hand, there is a lot of things the you should understand now. So what is the presence? The soil and food, that is the basically reside this bacteria on food and soil, and surface growth and temperature require the mesophilic and destroy botulism toxin at 100 degrees Celsius at 15 minutes. So, for example, this infected food will be eaten by the will be eat the person. When this person will eat, in this way the digestive system will absorb this through blood circulatory system. So here is the neurotoxin are present in the food in the form of bolus, and to convert chyme and absorb and resistant to enzymatically degradation. And the type of toxin can be the B, F smaller toxin, and A and F smaller toxin, A capital and B capital. So on the other hand, here is the neuromuscular junction, which that is affected by these neurotoxin, and how it's possible. Let's begin to understand. But first of all, we should need to understand the nervous system. So this is the spinal cord, and brain is the central nervous system. While here is the arise the neuron from the spinal cord is known as the peripheral nervous system throughout the body, and contain a dorsal root of ganglion and ventral root of ganglion. While the butterfly-like structure is known as the gray matter in the spinal cord, while the white matter is the surrounding through the gray matter. And in this way, the dorsal root of ganglion, which that's composed of sensory nerve fiber. The sensory nerve fibers send the signal from the touch, pressure, or other movement, or you can understand from the move sensation of pain will move toward the spinal cord, and after the interneuron which that is integrate, and suddenly motor neuron will give, and it is known as the effector, and sensory neuron is the affector nerves, which that is showing on, I am showing the line, red line. So in this way, the after the interpretation through the gray matter as well as brain, if so, in this way, the motor neuron which capture the signal and move toward back into the muscle side, the muscle fibers, muscle cell side, and the neuromuscular junction are here. This is the neuromuscular junction, and the motor neuron release the neurotransmitter will bind with the neurotransmitter acetylcholine receptor, will trigger the depolarization of the muscle cell, will change, and in this way the calcium will be released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum to bind with the sarcomere for the muscle contraction. So in this way, here is I am drawing the bigger picture for understanding the neuromuscular junction, which that is motor terminal, neuron terminal, which contain a vesicle and is known as the acetylcholine vesicle, containing neurotransmitter, which that is bound with the synaptobrevin protein, which that is used with the binding with the complex with the snare protein. 20 basically is the uh, snare protein 25, and vamp. Vamp mean the basically is the here you can see this is the blood vessel, and the basically is the uh, vascular associated membrane protein, which that is point. And here is when blood vessel which that contain a neurotoxin will move and contain light chain and heavy chain. The disulfide bond are present between them, and this is basically bound to a toxin receptor. This is known as the BONTA bind to receptor, and in this way the neurotoxin receptor. After this binding, it will invaginate to form a endocytosis is known as the uh, a bind to a bind BONT a bind to a botulinum neurotoxin, a bind to receptor and endocytose, and it is known as the receptor mediated endocytosis. And after this third step is basically this is the third step. In this way the vesicle is known as endosome, and the proton will move inside, known as influx of the proton will break down the disulfide bond. After the breaking down of the disulfide bond, the light chain release. After the light chain release, which that will target to the synaptobrevin as well as the vesicle associated membrane protein, and both protein which that is cleaved by the light chain release. After this light chain release, after the releasing of the light chain, here you can see this is the cleave of this synaptobrevin as well as the snare protein 25, known as the vesicle associated membrane protein. After this cutting of these, it will be unable to see synaptic fusion complex does not form. Why? Because it is required for the synaptic fusion complex formation for the exocytosis of the neurotransmitter. But in this case, the exocytosis of the neurotransmitter will be not possible due to the cutting of the snare protein 25, as well as the acetylcholine release blocked due to the synaptobrevin will be cut. And in this way the inhibition of the exocytosis mean the not binding with the acetylcholine neurotransmitter with the acetylcholine neurotransmitter receptor. So the normal function can be here, you can understand. This is the T tubule. Acetylcholine receptor will bind, will change the depolarization when the calcium will move inside and sodium also, and in this way the T tubule will allow to calcium move inside after the depolarization continuously. Here is the DHPR receptor and the PRYR, which that is ryanodine receptor, which that is basically is combined, and calcium move inside to outflow of the calcium through this depolarization. And after this depolarization, this calcium will bind with the troponin for the contraction of the sarcomere is here. And this is the isotropic band and anisotropic band, which that is contains Z to Z line contract. This is the sarcomere. This is the unit of contraction of muscle. So anyhow, this will be impossible due to the exocytosis will be not occur of the acetylcholine neurotransmitter. So that is why the Clostridium botulinum infection will be lethal due to the paralysis. And in this way, the heart as well as the muscle movement will be impossible. Sign and symptom is, again I am saying, that is the difficulty swallowing due to the muscle dysfunction, muscle weakness, double vision, drooping eyes, blurred vision, and slurred speech, and the difficulty breathing as well as the difficulty moving eye due to the muscle dysfunction drastically drastically decrease the function of muscle. And this treatment is the antitoxins and antibiotics. Sometimes this may work it's your case in wound botulism. So thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and share, and check another video